Welcome to New Kids on the Baize. My name's Steve Davis and we have reached our second semi-final. The winner of tonight's match will play James Reynolds in the final for that £1,000 first prize. Here on YTV, you're seeing the stars of the future. Who will it be? Will it be Barry Hawkins or will it be Jonathan Lewis? Let's find out.
My favourite player is Jimmy White because it's very exciting sport. He entertains people. I like the way he plays. Well, I'd like to get into the top 16 and then decent living and hopefully become world champion one day.
Well, I was about 11 when I first started playing properly, and my uncle bought me a key when I was younger, and I just started playing pool and it went on from there. Well, I want to turn pro when I'm 17, and just get in the top 16 in the next 4 years. So, it's my ambition.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from West Dulwich in London, 15-year-old Barry Hawkins. Barry's opponent from Birmingham, 15-year-old Jonathan Lewis. I'll hand you over to our referee and also to Mark Wildman in the commentary box. Have a good game and enjoy yourselves.
Have a good game. Have a good game. Barry Hawkins won the toss and will break.
So the second semi-final between Barry Hawkins, who has won the toss and will be breaking, and Jonathan Lewis. Barry Hawkins, the left-handed reigning UK under-15 champion. Very impressive in his quarter-final win. And he's playing against this young man from Birmingham, Jonathan Lewis. Likes to have a go. Tremendous potter, this man. And it's the best of three for a place in the final to play James Reynolds, who won that cracking semi-final battle last week, beating Lee Spick by 2 frames to 1. Oh, who's it going to be? Who do you fancy then, Ronnie O'Sullivan?
I fancy Barry Hawkins myself, just simply because he was more impressive today in his match than he was
One.
in Jonathan. But it's another day, and who knows?
Barry Hawkins won.
So this young man, Barry Hawkins, who claims, and we believe him of course, that he's only been playing 2.5 years, has made phenomenal progress in that time. And everybody will agree with that, taking the UK Under-15 Championships early this year. And Barry looking totally at home in the big-time atmosphere here at Thornbury Leisure Centre under the television lights, and oozes class. Well, been tempted into a pot here.
One.
I don't think he's on the black. He can get at the pink.
7. 8.
Well, there's the Barry Hawkins supporters. There's Dad, Steve, and his mum, Caroline, and his sisters there, Tanya. Also his girlfriend, Michelle. And
13.
he's picking these balls off beautifully.
14.
So he's got himself into trouble now. On a colour. Can't easily reach over and play the black. Might leave something on in any case. And where's he going?
Brown ball.
Brown ball called. Off one cushion.
Foul. Barry Hawkins 14. Jonathan Lewis 4.
Yes, and that's the stream of 5 Lewis supporters there, including Grandma Lewis. Second from the camera. Well, this boy really can hammer them in. Tends to hit them a little bit too hard occasionally, but a superb potter.
One. Six. Seven.
Always beautifully on this pink into the middle pocket. That really does open up prospects for a few points.
Thirteen. 14. 19. 20.
So this packed house here at Thornbury Leisure Centre enjoying this display. This boy oozes class. He really is superb. Looks totally at home. I'm repeating myself, but I have to say it. Beautiful positional player.
26.
Almost out of sight in this first frame.
27.
But has suddenly, no, he's got the black on. I was just thinking he might have lost position. Looking at the pink, there's the black into the middle pocket, which he knew all about all along.
$34. 35.
46 points in front already, and 5 reds left on. He's about to go 51 with the blue. So one more colour and a red afterwards. I think that would be enough, barring miracles.
$41.
Yeah, so need another colour after this next red. Shouldn't have any problems.
$42.
I bet you're pleased that you gave this youngster a good hiding a couple of weeks or so ago,
49.
Ronnie, because you might be playing him shortly as a professional. He's turning pro next year.
Yeah, he's a great player.
50.
Very impressive. The way he conducts himself, and he's a very good positional player. He hasn't been in that position once in his break. Great break.
56.
He's won the frame. The break goes to 56. There are enough balls on the table, I think. Yes, to make a century break.
57.
The last 2 reds are fairly awkward, but I might take the black here just to screw onto one of those reds.
$64. $65.
Now, are we going to see a 100 break? It becomes a possibility now. I'll say, unless he's absolutely straight on that red, almost a probability.
72.
He's just got enough angle to run through that and get the other side of the black, go up for that yellow. Oh, I say.
73.
That's probably the shot of the tournament, that was. Great shot. Played that to perfection as well.
Oh, it's terrific stuff, this one, isn't it? The red he got onto
80.
to get onto the black, or rather the red he potted to get onto the black that you mentioned as shot of the tournament. I agree with
82.
you. It was absolutely brilliant. There's 100 on here. Looks as though he's perfect on the screen.
$85.
Could have come up just a little bit more to be better placed on the brown.
$89.
Little pocket bump, don't go in. Oh, that's perfect.
94.
And here's probably the first 100 break ever seen on television. So the kids
100.
on the Baize. Wire TV bring you a 100 break by 15-year-old Barry Hawkins.
107.
As he knocks in the black for a cruise to 107 to take the first frame by 122 points to 4, and that is superlative form by this young 15-year-old from London.
Second frame, Jonathan Lewis to break.
Jonathan Lewis then to break off in the second frame of the second semi-final match against Barry Hawkins here at the Thornbury Leisure Centre, and the packed house having just witnessed that absolutely superb break of 107 by Jonathan's opponent. And how did the Hawkins entourage celebrate? Well, they went into tears, and who could blame them? Now here's a challenge to Jonathan Lewis. He hasn't had a chance so far, has done nothing wrong.
4.
All he's done is sit back in his seat, and he must have admired that clearance by Barry. And he's really got a big hole to dig himself out of, playing against this man in top form.
5.
Just got to wait. You'll get a chance. You might have to do the same thing, though. This man you're playing against looks mustard.
Twelve.
Hitting the ball very well at the moment. Doesn't look like he's going to miss a ball. This is a good test of queuing if this goes in. In the middle.
Barry Hawkins, 13.
So Jonathan Lewis does get a chance. Barry Hawkins can miss. He just has. Nice easy red in the middle for starters. There's the blue over the top pocket here. He's going to have to clear that pocket, I think. No red to play on. Doesn't appear to be so. Maybe the brown, if he can get directly on this red between the pack and the black. I think that might go. No, the one along the top cushion does. And he really will do well to get himself back in this match.
Six.
This can either do
11.
one thing for Jonathan, either make him play like he's never played before, or he'll just crack up and not be able to pot a ball.
Jonathan Lewis, 11.
Sometimes that's the difference between the top players and the mediocre players. I've watched it many times. Stephen Hendry, you count him out and he just comes back and plays even stronger.
Foul. Jonathan Lewis, 4.
What about the other possibility, Ronnie, this young man in your picture there, having just achieved the ultimate, really? 100 break, playing on television. Doesn't play on television very often. Gets 100 break in the tournament. May he not have put himself off, perhaps? You sometimes see that happen, don't you? He looks too good, actually.
You could say that in some cases, but he looked very composed, and when he had the 100 break, he just went back to his chair and didn't. It's not as if like he had 100 breaks, like he has 100 breaks all day in practice. So it's nothing new for him. It's like when people achieve things that they've never really achieved, they surprise themselves and they're still in a state of shock. It doesn't seem to me as if he's done anything that he doesn't normally do. So I don't think it affects him. He still looks pretty deadpan, and it wouldn't surprise me if he gets in again and makes another sizable rate. He's a very good positional player. He doesn't want to get too careless because the number one object in the game is to show your opponent all the respect in the world. They're all fellow players, and you should never take anyone for granted. maybe that's the biggest mistake that a lot of players make. But it's so important to give them that respect because they're capable players as well.
6. 7.
So this fellow is responding, you see. He's inclined to be a little bit impetuous, but he's a very, very good cueist.
14.
The way he cues up a bit reminds me a bit of Steve James.
15.
Very
Yeah, the timing of it, I agree with you.
yeah.
Snap, I do, yeah.
He does hit the ball very crisp. It wouldn't surprise me if I asked him after the match and he actually practices with Steve James.
22.
That does tend to happen when you practice with certain players. Your game does sort of brush off.
23.
And, I can definitely see a bit of Steve James in him. This is very, very, very good from Jonathan. Just showing what I mentioned earlier in the frame, that he has got the responding.
31.
Yeah, and you know, Ronnie, the other guy's made 107 clearance. Looks terrific. Jonathan hasn't done anything. He's come to the table. He's on a break of 31, which puts him, what, 33 in the lead. He's got to be favourite to win this game now. And if he does win this frame, he's got to be favourite because his impetus is there to take the final game.
38.
I don't really agree with that. I would say is the player that is
39.
you see Hendry so many times in front and they pull back, he just goes ahead again. It's just whether they got that other gear to step up.
Okay, well it's got to be even money then the last game, whereas he looks as though he had no chance.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of times the player that's 2-0
45.
down and he'll come back to 2-all and he'll win it 3-2, but the player that's 2-0 up and it comes back to 2-all and he wins 3-2, the player that was 2-0 up and now the player that comes back and the player that was 2-0 up still wins
52.
3-2. That's the hallmark of a great player, when they're behind and someone comes back at them and they still win.
53.
Terrific stuff. Break goes to 53. There's more to come. He's past the winning post. That's a marvellous response in this second frame.
58.
60 points in the lead, and there's only 35
59.
on the table. There's not, 35 now. This is great stuff. Come on, my son.
This must be so good. Such a good feeling for his dad. You see a picture there of him. So proud. He's actually going through it with him. You can look at him. He's on the edge of his
65.
seat.
Now, if he knocks this red in, the screw's back to go on the black. There's another 100 on.
Jonathan Lewis,
Too much to
55.
expect, but he's done enough.
Frame.
Barry has conceded, so it's a terrific fight back then by Jonathan Lewis. He takes a second frame, and it's one frame all. Everything to play for on the final frame for a place in the final. So here we go, the deciding frame for a place in the final. Barry Hawkins to break, and what a cracking match this has turned out to be. Hawkins with a marvellous break, a clearance of 107 in frame 1, followed by a rock-like comeback by Jonathan Lewis, a 15-year-old from Birmingham, with a 65 break to even the match at 1 frame all. And straight in, and at last, and for the first time in this match, he's now in the lead.
You can actually see the bounce in his walk. He is so pumped up.
9.
But so many times I see it, they get to about 30 and miss the easiest balls you can imagine.
In the deciding frame. You're quite right, I agree with you.
These he's made a mistake that he would never have made. The adrenaline is pumping so hard that he just couldn't really
16.
control himself. There he is, he just can't really control himself. That's what I would say the difference between James, Barry and Jonathan is.
I think he's going for the pot here.
Barry seems to compose himself that little bit more.
He does pot, he may just be playing the safety. Punch it up the table. No, he's gone for it. And he would have been on the black in the end, he just missed it. A little bit of bravado there, maybe. 16 points in front, but it's left Barry Hawkins in.
One.
Good shot there. Knowing if he'd have missed that he was leaving it over the pocket. As I said,
8.
he's in the balls and he must be pumping, but I just can't really see him making a silly mistake. He's more
9.
machine-like than...
$14. $15.
Well, they had the high of the first game. That's the Hawkins entourage, and then they have to experience the low of the second. What's the opposite camp? Had the lift, as John Lewis
20.
made that marvellous fight back to take frame 2. But now Barry's got himself into the lead again, and he's the one at the table.
$21.
Yes, he's gone a little bit too near to this black, not really on it. You can't see any other colour. He's got a choice. Does he just stick it up behind it? I think that's what he's going to do. Play the snooker.
Barry Hawkins, 21.
So 5 points of difference. Left-handed Barry Hawkins in front. Final frame.